Hello, this is George Hutton, and you are listening to the Mind Persuasion podcast. Today we continue our study of weaponized hypnosis. For more information, please visit mindpersuasion.com/weaponized-hypnosis. Today's fully written story will be about Cannibal Rats. Part 1, Stories in Their Natural Order. Story number 1, Documentary on Extinct Species. 1A, Documentary on Extinct Species. 1B, Never Knew How Chaotic Life Was. 1C, Most Species Are Extinct. 1D, 18 Kinds of Primates. 1E, Only 5 Left, including humans. Story 2, Southeast Asian Flowers. 2A, Weird Flowers in Southeast Asia. 2B, Bloom every 7 years. 2C, When it blooms, the rats increase. 2D, Flowers go away, but the rats remain. 2E, Rats destroy all the farms. Story 3, Cannibal Rats. 3A, Abandoned Cargo Ships. 3B, Filled with Rats. 3C, Rats eat other rats. 3D, Rats will eat anything when hungry. 3E, One reason why nobody wants the ships. Story 4, Cannibal Humans. 4A, All humans have a certain gene. 4B, Gene protects from prions disease. 4C, Prions disease only comes from eating human flesh. 4D, Ramifications of a gene to protect humans against prions disease. 4E, All humans are potential cannibals. 2. Stories in order to tell. 1A, Documentary on Extinct Species. 1B, Never Knew How Chaotic Life Was. 1C, Most Species Extinct. 2A, Southeast Asian Flower. 2B, Blooms every 7 years. 2C, Rats love it. 3A, Abandoned Cargo Ships. 3B, Filled with Rats. 3C, Rats eat anything. 4A, All humans have a certain gene. 4B, Gene prevents against prions disease. 4C, Prions disease is caused by cannibalism. 4D, Ramifications. 4E, All humans are cannibals. 3D, Rats eat each other. 3E, Nobody wants cargo ships. 2D, Flowers disappear, rats remain. 2E, Rats destroyed local economy. 1D, 18 different primates. 1E, Only 5 left. Part 3, Word for Word Script. R, Anchor. SP, Self Point. I saw this pretty interesting documentary the other night about species and life on Earth. I didn't know this, but most species, like 90% of all species that have ever existed, are extinct. I mean, I never know how absolutely chaotic SP life was. I mean, we like to think that life is fair and kind, but in reality, most species will never last R. In fact, there's a reason to believe nothing R will last. There's this trippy Southeast Asian flower. I mean, it grows naturally out in the jungle, and it's one of those weird flowers that blooms only every 7 years. But check this out. The animal that loves that flower the most are rats, and rats can multiply quickly. I mean, all they need is food, and almost overnight you have thousands of rats pretty much everywhere. And out in the jungle, when these flowers bloom, the rat population just explodes exponentially. I mean, all of a sudden, there's just a ton of rats everywhere. There are these abandoned cargo ships floating around out in the ocean. I mean, there's probably hundreds of them, but one thing that happens when they leave one of these ships out there is it just becomes filled with rats, SP. And because rats will eat anything, they just eat each other, I mean, a female rat has a litter of rats and then just starts to eat the babies, It's like survival of the fittest, right? I read where all humans have a certain gene. I forgot what it's called, but get this, it protects against prions disease. The only way you can get prions disease is if you eat other people I mean, there is no way to get prions disease unless you eat other people I mean, unless you are a cannibal. This means that humans were cannibals for so long, we routinely ate each other. I guess people would fight with each other, SP, and the winner would just eat the loser, right? I mean, I guess it makes sense. Back in those days, food was hard to get, dangerous to get, and you had to fight with people, And I guess back then, you fight with people, every day. You just ate the person you fought with. And if you lost a fight, you would get eaten, I mean, today we get into an argument, and if it gets really bad, we just have to go to court, SP. But back then, If you know somebody was really angry with you, you would know this person, SP, wanted to kill you, R, so they could eat you, R. Isn't that crazy? That means if there ever is an economic collapse, people will be eating each other since it's natural for people to eat people, R. I guess that's one of the reasons nobody wants to claim those ships, because they are filled with rats. I mean, rats so desperate for food, they'll just eat anything, R. Could you imagine that, R? Being stuck on a ship with a bunch of rats that were starving and would eat anything? But when those flowers bloom and the rat population swells, they eat all the flowers. And after all the flowers are gone, there's all these rats out in the jungle and no food. So the rats just swarm into the local farms and eat everything, R. I mean, it ruins the local economy. So the poor farmers, when they see these flowers, SP, out in the jungle, they know the rats are coming, R. I mean, that would suck to know rats, SP, are coming, R. And they're going to eat everything, R. And there's nothing you can do. Every time you try to sleep at night, you just think of the hungry rats, R, that are going to come into your house and eat everything. I mean, to have to hide the food, R, in your house so the rats don't find it, that would make it hard to sleep. I would have nightmares, R, every night. I would dream about rats, R, every night. But I guess there have been 18 different primates and now there are only 5 left. So I guess it's just a matter of time before humans become extinct, R, like everybody else. And I guess that since humans have built-in DNA protection that protects us against prions disease, we can revert back to cannibalism, R. I think about that, R, now every time I watch the news. And I can't help but think of what is coming, R. Some horrible economic collapse when all the food runs out and all that's left is cannibalism and rats. Think about that, R, for a while. That's pretty crazy. I'm George Hutton. Thank you for listening to the Mind Persuasion Podcast. For more information, please visit mindpersuasion.com/weaponized-hypnosis. I look forward to speaking with you again soon.